Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
And welcome. Thanks for joining us. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter and Instagram. More campus fun around the country. Right now, I got to send some of this video in because it's happening as we speak at UCLA. I had not seen this encampment at UCLA yet. My gosh. They built up a barrier around themselves, like the Chaz thing in Seattle during the Occupy thing. Oh,
this almost seems more.
It does. It seems
profound.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, who built that? These people can't build anything.
I know. Can't make a birdhouse.
Seems like the cops are having somewhat of a difficult time pulling it all down so they can get to the kids and get them out of there.
If you're trying to picture this, it's a bunch of plywood and barriers all kind of constructed into their little fort.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the police are having a really tough time breaking through. Remember we played the video a couple of days ago, or was it yesterday? I don't know, the days run together, where the guy's like, "Wake up, commies!" He was yelling at a bunch of tents at UCLA.
Yeah. Then they put this up.
When did this happen?
I
man?
don't know.
This is like
I don't know. It's the first time seeing of it.
If you live in the South, this is like you wake up one morning after a good rain and fire ants have built like an entire neighborhood in your yard.
Oh, man.
This was fast, man.
Yeah, it was. It was really fast. And so they're entering the encampment now. They've got weapons, but I understand that they're rubber bullets that would be fired. I don't think they've fired at anybody yet.
Oh, that's a shame.
But they've got them at the ready.
Uh-huh.
And so these little darlings are being removed from the area, finally. I mean, UCLA is ridiculous to have allowed it to get to this point. I mean, you see them building an encampment around themselves.
Maybe your first...
And you just sit there and watch it? You might want to have the police move in just a little bit sooner. I don't know. How about before they put up the plywood? These idiots. It's so hard to believe that this is going on in the United States of America. And they all want, they all think they're entitled to food and...
humanitarian aid.
Don't
try to make it sound like they just want their, college student meal plans honored.
I love how they're among the victims now, too. That's great. They're the victims, just like the Palestinians are. And they're fighting for the Palestinians, so they, too, are now victims and need humanitarian aid.
Hold on.
Asinine.
Isn't their big complaint that Israel is occupying Palestinian territory?
Yeah, but it's okay for them to occupy UCLA territory.
This encampment is exactly what they're bitching about.
Right. Right.
This world, man.
Interesting. Really interesting. I mean, the hypocrisy and the stupidity. They're so ignorant of what is actually happening in the world. It's troubling for sure. Because think about this. This is happening at all the major universities across this country. The best we have to offer. Supposedly the most intelligent students in the country. These are the people who are graduating from Colombia and Harvard and Yale. And they go on to run the biggest corporations and get into politics and run the nation.
Oh, no.
If this is what's in store for us, we're just absolutely done. We're done in so many different ways. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yep.
Apparently there was some pizza trouble at Colombia.
What is this one here? I can't remember this one. Chris, did you send this one in? Let's see here. What? Oh, so yeah, they are so dumb. This is to your point. Mm-hmm. They can't figure out how to deliver food up to Hamilton Hall.
Up to where they are?
Yeah. See, that's how.
Oh, man.
I mean, play that again. Like, it's just, it eludes them trying to get this. Okay, so the square.
So they're looking at it like,
that is hysterical.
What do I do here with this big box?
That is awesome.
Well, you can't, flip it because then the cheese gets on the top, and then you keep the toppings.
That's a fair point.
Right.
You really want to tilt it.
But I mean, to your point, how did those people, the equivalent, that was New York, build a town in California?
Right. I know. It's incredible. And how did these kids who know nothing about the world get into major, our finest institutions?
DEI.
I guess. Maybe. Usually, I mean, the requirement for BYU is like a 3.8. You got to have a 3.8 average. I think at Colombia, you probably need a 4.0, right? I mean, it's tough to get into an Ivy League college. And so you would think you would know something about the world, but man, do they prove to be stupid. That woman who was babbling nonsense at that, we played her yesterday, where she was talking about the food and the humanitarian aid they needed and how they are entitled and I mean, it is incredible to listen to the stupidity, the sheer ignorance that's on display.
So I'm just looking at the old Columbia University requirements.
Okay.
If I'm reading this correctly, your minimum is 3.0.
What? At Columbia, 3.0 will get you in?
Yeah,
that can't be.
I
wow.
I don't know.
Okay. Well,
Let's see.
I guess they're not as smart as I thought they were. 3.0 is fine, but you wouldn't think that gets you into Columbia?
Yeah, so that's minimum. I mean, now I'm reading this article that says ideally applicants will be between 3.9 and 4.0.
Ideally.
Yeah, but
I wonder if it's depending on your ethnic background.
Oh, come on. They would never do something like that in the United States of America.
No, of course not. No,
come on.
Of course not. There's also some tents being set up at Fordham.
Okay,
geez, New York is really under siege here with the colleges in New York City.
Yeah, these green tents are the thread that runs through all of these college campuses. It's amazing that they all seem to have ordered from the
green
same
tents?
place. But please play this, and you will recognize this from Columbia, now Fordham. We've seen them, I forgot what the footage was, in the Midwest. I mean, this obviously was completely pre-planned. And obviously, someone with a lot of money, George Soros, or someone like him, made this in bulk purchase of green tents that now are a part of all of these protests and these encampments. It's so obvious. If the signs being so uniform and perfect weren't obvious, then the green tents showing up at every one of these campuses is obvious.
No,
but it's organic.
I'm sure
it's okay.
Yeah, it's grassroots.
Grassroots.
This is just grassroots
That's
stuff.
what it is. Grassroots.
Then we've got the pro-Hamas indoctrination going on.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to stand more than about the first 10 seconds of this.
Okay.
Because then they start singing and just it's so dumb. But
from the river to the sea, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free.
And then sing into the microphone. Sing your hate into the microphone. Anyway, but then go back to the very beginning of that, because this little kid, he's look at his face. Oh, look, I'm so happy because all these people are doing exactly what I say.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all this is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we got more
That's the Stanford encampment? Is that what that says? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
So there's an encampment at Stanford as well now. Oh, good. I hadn't even heard about the Stanford situation.
Yeah.
And so they've invited children to be indoctrinated at the Stanford encampment. Good.
What's the next one? We got another indoctrination video, I think.
Okay.
Israel is a racist state.
Yeah.
5, 6,
7, 8. Israel is a racist state. 5, 6.
my gosh. I can't take it. Wow.
Viva, viva Palestina. What was it? 5, 6, 7, 8. Israel is a racist state, and these are just
that rhymes. At least it rhymes. The other day it was that the people united will never be defeated. I got something that rhymes for them, though, that they can try out.
Oh no!
The people united are scumbags. I've decided.
Oh yes.
How about that? They could start chanting that. The people united are douchebags. I've decided. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Israel is a racist state. Really clever. Very creative. That's really well done. What poets they are. I mean.
So, yeah, you showed concern for the college age generation.
Mm-hmm.
Look who's right behind them.
That's right. Yep. And the indoctrination of the kids coming up. That's great. So, perfect. I mean, we're just in a perfect situation right now that we don't have to worry about. Everything's going fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, if any good can come from this, maybe parents will see, maybe my kid shouldn't go to college. Maybe we can stop this long train of indoctrination.
Nip it in the bud.
Yeah, and then we don't continue to indoctrinate, because it's not just hatred for Israel and anti-Semitism on these college campuses.
No.
It's this, worshiping of the planet, or the hating of American history, or the self-loathing for whites. I mean, there's so much at colleges across this country.
Right.
Keep your kids out of it.
Which is why we've been preaching homeschooling for so long, to keep you out of that process where, you get into the public education and it's been taken over by progressives. And certainly they've infiltrated colleges all across America. You can see that. If it hadn't, these universities would have put a stop to this from the beginning. As soon as it started, if they would have ended it at Colombia, right when it started, this wouldn't have spread like a social contagion across the country, where they're seeing the attention that these guys are getting. Hey, let's us do that too.
And the funny thing is that we talked about indoctrination. I just sent Joe a video. This is what's happening inside that UCLA camp. Go ahead, Joe. They're actually training. They're doing hand combat training inside the walls of that UCLA compound that they built.
Wow.
This is a drone shot that was captured for one of the reporters there.
Wow.
Citizen reporters. But look at that.
Yeah.
You tell me this is not like...
And what do you want to bet? What do you want to bet? That's some sort of Hamas representative.
100. Well,
that's over there. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah. Wasn't there a wife of a known terrorist captured or whatever at Colombia like yesterday?
So, I don't know. I hadn't heard that.
You didn't hear that?
Was there?
Yeah, there was.
This encampment that we're seeing on this drone, they've done a lot more work before the police got there this morning.
Oh, yes. This is yesterday during the day. Overnight, it went completely crazy.
I sent you a video of the encampment. Did you get it yet?
It's a terrorist training camp.
So
look at
let me know when you have that. Because, look at this.
This is a
look at this.
terrorist training camp.
That is absolutely
in our colleges and universities. And the thing about these universities and the people that run them and the money that flows into them, they should not be shocked that this is their harvest.
Yeah, right.
I mean, this has been going on for over a century. This is the Woodrow Wilson seed.
Yeah.
Of turning the next generation against their parents.
And you're right.
And everything they stand for.
It started in the early 1900s. And so it's been going on for a really long... It took a long time to get to this point. It really did. But they've been patient, because that's what progressives are, patient communists.
Yeah. I mean...
And here we are. And they're showing their Marxist tendencies.
To quote the poet Bono...
Oh, yeah.
You plant a demon seed, you raise a flower of fire, and here you go.
It's a good line.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, all right.
I like that. He might have a future in the business if if he really sticks to it.
He's got a little band.
He should.
I'll introduce you to him later.
All right.
I got some good music out there.
Really?
Yeah. It's
Bono, you said his name is?
Yeah, the band it's got like a letter and a number. I forget. It's like U.
Weird, like U-boat or U2.
U2, like the spy plane. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We got there.
We got there. We did.
But this is you are sending your children not only to be indoctrinated, not only to flip your families and your nation's values on their heads, but you're like you said, this is the future of our country too.
Right.
Now, if you want to laugh, and have a little chuckle, play the next video because this lady really sums it up exactly.
Okay.
Hi there. I am a recruiter for your typical elite college or university. If you're ready to fundamentally transform your child into someone completely unrecognizable, send them our way. For just $50,000 a year, we can rid your child of all the values and ideologies that they were raised with.
So good.
Your child will learn to hate you, themselves, the color of their skin, their gender, their upbringing, their socioeconomic status, and their country. Your child will sit under the teachings of socialists, Marxists, communists, and terrorist sympathizers who hate capitalism, organized religion, and individual thought. Your child will become a group thought thinker and will regurgitate these newly programmed thoughts to you in an irritated, angry manner at your next family gathering. Your child will call you a boomer and tell you that your way of thinking is outdated and pathetic, and that you, yes, you, are pathetic. Your child will learn to create tent cities and roadblocks while also learning some catchy dance moves at their next campus protest. So if your child is in their senior year of high school and you're thinking to yourself, what do I do with them next? Send them our way.
Really good.
There you go, conservative mama.
So true. Wow, that's good. So true. That's so true. And here's the thing. So many businesses now have decided that a college degree isn't even necessary to apply for their, it used to be among the requirements for the job that they were applying for. Many companies, many major corporations now have eliminated that because they realize it's not necessary. These kids know how to program computers without going to college. They know how to do a lot of things, and practical experience is more valued than higher education in many, many businesses. But, weigh it for yourself. Consider the possibilities. And the problem is, where do you send, if you still want them to go to, you want them to go to a major university, but you're going to find a conservative one. Where is that? Where is that? There's a few. Okay. I mean, Liberty, BYU. I don't know. Hillsdale. Mm-hmm. Yes. But I will tell you, some of that ideology has infiltrated BYU. I don't know that it has at Hillsdale. I don't know. But it's dangerous no matter where you send them, is my point. So, I mean, weigh the consequences carefully. Let me tell you about Eden Pure Thunderstorms. They're back, and their famous Thunderstorm air purifier, top-selling air purifier, quickly destroys viruses, odors, mold, and so much more. It's top-selling because of that, and it's so easy. I mean, it's just this compact little unit, and you pop out the plug-in, stick it into the wall, and turn it on, and you're done. And if Jeffy were here, of course, he would say, well, yeah, but how often do you have to change the filter, though? Take it out and try to figure out where to put the filter. See if you can figure out where you put this filter. Nowhere.
And I think it's so powerful, man. It
really is,
really
right?
cleans it up.
I mean, it's surprising. You put it in a big room, and you've got heavy smells there, and the smells are gone within minutes. It's really incredible.
My wife does cloth diapers, and they kind of do their little, smelly.
What is it, 1843 in your house?
In my house, yes. She is changing cloth diapers and making bread every single day.
What?
In her bare feet.
Really?
Oh, 100%.
In her bare feet.
But
cloth diapers.
Cloth diapers.
I didn't know anybody did that.
Because that's gross.
Is that because of the environment? Is
no,
it because
it's because
they're expensive?
it's cheaper.
Wow.
But imagine that smell and you plug one in
no,
one of
thank
those.
you. Yeah.
There is no
You're going to
smell.
need that.
Oh,
big
I have
time at your
3
house.
of them.
Oh my gosh! Got this great testimonial too from somebody who identifies as very pleased with the thunderstorm. I purchased the bundle of 3, put one in my bedroom, one in the basement about 3 weeks ago. My allergies are definitely better. We had some construction going on, and the chemical smells dissipate quickly. Just put the 3rd one in the kitchen to handle cooking odors. I'm very pleased with this product, and may purchase another one, actually. And I mentioned before, and so did one of these testimonials, about the fish smell that my wife and my youngest son love to cook head-on fish.
Oh, what is going on?
Oh, my gosh, that's nasty.
What year is this? 1840?
Thank you. I think they fell in love with it because of, have you ever seen The Lord of the Rings, or is it The Hobbit, where they cook the fish
The
like
Hobbit.
that? And,
Yeah.
and then the smell just lingers there for like 6 weeks. Unless you have the Eden Pure thunderstorm, then it goes away quickly, and now I can deal with that. So go to EdenPureDeals.com. Use a discount code PAT3. Save $200. That's Eden, E-D-E-N, EdenPureDeals.com. Discount code PAT3.
Pat Gray is unleashed.
All right, so we also had some arrests at UTD. What is University of Texas, Dallas? Is that what oh, man.
Yeah.
Some arrests happened there, huh? All right. Here they
Yeah, tear that tent down. We're not gonna have that here. Tables are gone. Tent is broken.
And they're screaming bloody murder, of course.
How you feel, Officer Watts? Get out of education! You're a big man now.
Get out of education.
My gosh. Okay. Thank you, Dallas PD. Thank you.
I feel
Thank
like
you.
Texas and Georgia
Yeah.
have not been spending much time.
We're not putting up with it.
Florida, Texas, Georgia.
AKA red states. I don't know.
Tell me New York isn't looking at this thinking, geez, why can't we do that here? Tell me that their progressive BS is not working for them right now.
This is actually a fun day at the office, I think, for the cops. Getting in there, getting to
Right.
just destroy things, break them,
Overturn tables.
overturn tables.
Just like somebody's righteous indignation about 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Overturning tables and things where they shouldn't have been.
Moron rolling around in the tent. Yeah!
There you go.
I want that job.
I want that job so bad.
Right?
Guy
I want.
flipping a table over.
That's a good day at the office right there.
You talked about how NYPD. I wish they were doing that, but this is a prep video on how the NYPD was prepping to restore order back in Colombia.
Okay.
Right there, what I'm looking at, that's Hamilton Hall. He's on top of it. There's no, and that's the sidewalk, right? Which sidewalk would that be?
That's Amsterdam.
That's Amsterdam Avenue. So we got it.
Oh, my. Guy on top of a campus building waving a
Swinging the Palestinian flag. Mm-hmm.
So they're just prepping. This is your prep mission. How are we going to take it?
You believe that all the entrances are
Missiles.
somehow barred?
Do we have missiles at the
Missiles.
What
NYPD?
entrance do you believe that entrance will have police resistance?
Do we have IEDs that we could plant around?
We're not going to be moving.
Right. You got some planned process up there.
Yeah, we want to start getting the
It's interesting that they filmed this and
They released it.
released it.
Yes.
Wow.
Uh-oh. They show up.
Okay, so they're there now, right? We saw the planning. Here comes the execution. Can we take back Columbia University? In a world
There it is, yes.
where college students have gone mad, the NYPD has had enough. This is good.
Coming spring
Right now, we're
2024.
inside of the
look
Hamilton
what they-
building in the Columbia University. We're on the third floor.
Jeez, man.
The powerful going through the building, looking for the student protesters that took
Idiots.
over this building.
Just
As you
call
can
them
see,
what they
emergency
are.
services behind us, conducting operations. We're checking each floor. We're checking each door. If we come over here, you can see that they have set up sort of an encampment inside of the classroom. There's sleeping bags all over the place. And when we actually came in here, they actually had the desk barricaded up to the window so that thinking that we were going to come in.
Oh my gosh.
Animals, man.
Noble job by your shoes so far, as professional as can be. Making sure everything is safe before we move on. Feel totally comfortable, totally safe with these guys, man. This is who you call when the police need help.
Man.
A lot of learning happening in that building, huh?
Right. And you know what? Colombia brought that on themselves because they didn't put their foot down.
Yep.
Nowhere near soon enough.
And don't charge the NYPD to fix those doors.
Right.
Get in your budget and you fix those
you bet.
doors.
You bet.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see what your endowment
There
is.
we go, yeah.
And you fix that window. Don't do the NYPD. Don't send them a bill.
No way. Although it's New York, they probably will. And they'll probably pay it.
Or charge the taxpayers.
Yep. Well, if they charge NYPD, that's who pays it.
We're on the campus of Colombia in the tent city, which you see is cleared. Just a remarkable plan and execution by the NYPD, and more importantly, these cops on the perimeter who got this secured.
Good.
Special thanks to our emergency service, our SRG group, second to none. As of right now, this campus is secure.
Pull that music down a little bit. I want to hear
this.
this.
Is how we get it done.
This is not a tent city.
Happens so often. Or they just overwhelm
You're thinking
the
about
audio.
doing something like this, take a look around, see how fast we cleared it out. This could be you. The conditions in this courtyard are just deplorable.
Look, green tents everywhere.
I love
Smells bad.
Smells bad. I bet.
It just
Petri
reeks.
dish of
I'll bet.
STDs.
Yep.
No student.
Oh my
nobody
gosh.
got to
The next
enjoy
pandemic
this
is going to
feeling on
originate
campus.
from the mall at
Like I said
Columbia
before,
University.
lawlessness. That's what this. We thought it was.
How sad this is. At one of the
And we're not
greatest
gonna have
universities
lawlessness in our city.
in the
So
world.
Columbia
Literally in
reached
the
out to us.
world.
We came in here.
And this
we
is
took
what they
action,
turned it into.
And this is a result of our action.
Thank you.
I love what he
NYPD.
said. Colombia reached out to
Individuals
us.
that wanna
Yeah.
And we
protest.
helped.
Yeah,
How
you know,
about next time you
there
tell
are
them,
other ways to do it
stop,
besides setting
don't
up
do
tents
this.
Yeah.
and living like this.
They're so used to coddling these kids that they just let them do it. That's the problem.
This is not the way to get
They're
the
too
tents.
used to just giving in.
Setting up tents anyplace else in the city. Think again, because colleges will reach out to us, and we'll come there and we'll strike you.
City College,
take
New
you to
York,
jail,
too. CUNY.
like we did over here.
Same
Thank you.
thing.
Have a good night.
Just so you.
Love that guy.
That's a great video.
We'll
Love
come
that.
there, we'll extract you, and we'll take you in.
Wow.
All right, I'm done. Have a good night. And by the way, those tents that you see, I don't know if they're just going to throw them in the garbage or if there's homeless people out there that are like, oh, huh? And I can see places like New York City donating those tents to the homeless that will just contribute to their tent cities under the overpass.
Would you want to be in that tent, though, after what's happened in it? No, thank you. I don't.
No.
Even the homeless people should not be subjected to that.
Whoa, I don't want a college kid's hand-me-downs.
No, thank you.
I have some pride.
Who knows what went on in there? No, thank you.
Oh,
no, thank you. But wow, you got CUNY, which is the City College, City University, New York. You've got Fordham. You have NYU. You have Columbia. All of this stuff going on in New York City. Jeez. What a rat's nest that they now have to clear out because everybody just let this go on way too long, and now it's out of control. It's getting dangerous. It's lunacy. And you know who loves this? Hamas.
Oh, yeah.
They love this. Iran, they love it. Qatar loves it. Yemen loves it. They're all watching, by the way. All of them are watching and promoting on their government news sites what exactly is happening in the United States of America to help them win the propaganda war. These little a-holes are helping Hamas and other terrorists throughout the Middle East win in the public attitude. The public sentiment is certainly on their side right now, although that might be changing a bit. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Some tweets here. Eric Wolf tweets, these stupid students can't help with chores at home, but they can build encampments on campus. Yes. Isn't that incredible?
Yep.
Speaking of those encampments, here's some video of what was going on at UCLA. Man, this went up fast, too. I don't know how many people were working on this, but check out the video here. UCLA this morning, police finally moved in and broke this down. But here's some of what this is different than I was looking at earlier. But hopefully we'll see you see the plywood here eventually. And they graffitied all over the place. And we're looking inside the encampment now. Everything serene and beautiful and wonderful and loving, I'm sure.
Boy, don't put a black light on that camp.
Oof. I can't even imagine. Seriously, cannot imagine. Wow. So anyway, the cops moved in. They had built these plywood walls up, and police had to tear those down. And they were worried about being attacked as they were. So they
commotion now within the confines of the encampment as LAPD is now retreating. LAPD is now retreating from the encampment. They're retreating from the encampment. There are encounters with protesters. LAPD now scuffling with these protesters, the supporters who have shown up on that staircase. They are now fist to fist with some of these protesters as they try and make their way down the staircase. LAPD is retreating from the encampment as the crowd has converged on at least 36 officers who were apparently.
I don't know that they were retreating. It looked like they were dragging away protesters to the paddy wagon.
Officers now retreating as they are being pushed out completely out of the encampment by no less than a couple hundred protesters.
Yeah. I like how the ABC 7 microphone at the news desk is on someone's keyboard.
Plywood wall.
I thought that was you, Keith.
It's not me.
Wow.
But look at those plywood. Like, that's...
Yeah.
I just can't get over the... Type faster.
Okay, well, there's a look at some of it. It's still going on. They're still trying to break down that encampment. The police are still disassembling the walls around it. And again, how do you let it go on this long? Mm-hmm. I don't understand. The administration at these universities so out of touch with reality. Come on, stop coddling these kids. Let's get back to normalcy here. Can we please get back to common sense? Anonymous F35 tweets, with 2024 lumber prices, you know they couldn't afford the plywood themselves. Right. Thank you, George Soros.
I had to get George Soros to bankroll a trip to Home Depot.
Carol remarks, I wish the anti-protesters would march by with giant posters of the pictures of the hostages.
Oh, yeah.
I know students were putting right outside the pictures of the pro-Israel. They were putting pictures of the hostages.
And were they immediately ripped down by these peaceful protesters?
Probably. Yeah.
Because I know that the screen went up with the footage. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was showing what Hamas was doing. So, but is it working?
Let's see, from Kim Miola, student protests having flashbacks to 1970. Neil Young, 4 dead in Ohio. Yeah, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. 4 dead in Ohio keeps running through my head. Dang! Yeah, I've been there. That's why I'm not even gonna entertain the line.
And Neil Young is in town this weekend. Today, actually.
Wow, what a treat. Today. Is he? Darn it. I wish I knew that in advance.
There's an organization that gives free tickets.
I just set up cleaning out my dryer screen lint area. You know,
why don't you do that this weekend?
And I can't. It's got to be done today. Clothes won't get as dry as they need to be.
You got Neil Young in town.
I know.
There's an organization that gives free tickets to veterans, right? And I was like, yeah, I'll see how. There's still 400 tickets left.
Oh my gosh! Really?
And they can't give them away.
And they cannot give them away for free.
So where's he playing?
Dos Equis.
Oh, okay.
So about like what, 5 minutes from here?
Yeah.
Oh,
Tonight.
That's 5 minutes. If you had said 4 minutes, Pat would have been
I could have cleaned
out of the way.
I could have cleaned the lint screen on my dryer and gotten there, but no.
The 5 is a deal
not
breaker.
5. It's a deal breaker. Can't do it. Dang it! Darn! Oh,
Shoot, I'm with you, man.
Right?
I wish I had the time.
Yeah.
But I've got
other stuff
I've got to get to.
Mm-hmm. I won't ask you to be specific because that would be too intrusive into your private life, and that's your business, Keith.
Yeah.
But what are you doing?
Wow, Chris, that was really intrusive.
I got to find time to tie my shoes today.
Yeah.
Some point.
You don't want him to trip,
carve out,
I don't want him
fall
to
and
trip.
hit his head.
No, I don't want him.
Like some intern in Joe Scarborough's office.
Oh no!
Is that what you want? Hope not.
For Bob Saget.
Right. Or Bob Saget. Who
Too soon.
broke his skull by tripping or whatever happened to him. Bumped his head. I know most people who get a cracked skull immediately get a little sleepy and they feel like, man, I haven't had a nap in a while, and they go to sleep. It happens all the time. All the time. Bob Loblaw tweets, interestingly, we have not heard any reports of pro-Hamas encampments established at any technical schools across the country.
Yeah, they're there to learn.
That is interesting, isn't it? Or community colleges, for that matter.
Yeah.
I wonder if community colleges have been involved. Lone Wolf 2965, the Hamas holes are demonstrating that educated no longer means intelligent. Yes, that's been the case, though, for a while, it seems. Pardon my sanity. Remember, the students were the same ones that got a participation trophy, so they are entitled. Yes. Exactly. It's all paying off for us right now, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Patriot Beagles 2, Hamas holes, Antifa, illegal immigrants, baby killers. It's going to be a long summer. Mm-hmm.
Wait, hold on. What was that again? That sounds like the Democrat base.
Hamas holes, Antifa, illegal immigrants, and baby killers. Yeah, it is exactly the Democrat base.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll see them all in Chicago converging on the Democrat National Convention. That'll be fun. Won't that be fun? It'd be great. You know what? If Donald Trump were president right now, this would not be happening. Because if the colleges allowed it, he would have sent in National Guard troops by now to clean up this mess.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah. Is there anybody who doubts that? I really think he would have dealt with this thing. But Chris was keeping an eye on Donald Trump yesterday. He had some comments about these fake cases against him.
Yeah, he just wants to talk about his fake cases.
All right. Here he is.
Joe Biden is the worst, most incompetent, most corrupt president in the history of our country. And Crooked Joe knows that in a fair election, he's going down in a landslide. Every poll is showing that. You've seen the polls. We're leading big in Michigan, by the way. We're leading big. Why wouldn't we? Who wouldn't be? I mean, honestly, who the hell wouldn't be leading? This guy is coming out of a helicopter the other day. He's falling. He's holding on. Can you imagine the foreign countries? Like I visited China. They must have had 100,000 soldiers there. President Xi is standing there. Can you imagine falling out of an airplane or coming down the children's stairs as they have 100,000 soldiers? That's why Biden is trying so hard to jail. He wants to jail his political opponent like they do in third world countries or banana republics. He wants to give it a shot. There's only one problem. Every one of these fake cases is bull. Every single one of them.
I love that.
Terrible stuff. It's great. Nice to see him on offense here because he's had to defend himself so much. And they're seeing to that, by the way. That was all by design. But it's nice to see him go on the offensive a little bit.
And he should have the freedom to do that kind of rally every day if he chooses. But instead, he's tied up in court with.
And they demanded that he be there every day of it. Yeah, incredible.
And he talked about imagine if someone, the president falls. But this is him arriving from his plane. And like I said, this is what a president looks like when he walks out of his plane.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the next president of the United States, President Donald J. Trump.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
Come on, that's awesome.
All right.
Don't forget the men who
So he was in
died
West Virginia then?
Yes, he was. Yes.
Where the concert's still happening 20 years later?
Still happening.
next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt.
No, this is him arriving in Michigan, right? Before that speech we just saw?
Yeah.
God bless the USA.
Wow. One of the candidates is alive, and one is not. I'll let you decide which is which. I mean, just based on that video. Yeah, he was carefully walking down the stairs.
Yeah, what?
He was watching where he was going, that's for sure. But his gait is not halted and stiff, and he can actually walk down the stairs and fist clench at the same time. Shake his fist at the crowd. Yeah, I'm here. Joe Biden can't do that.
Can't
Wait,
do that.
what?
He's not even capable of that. If he let go of the railing with both hands, he'd go flat on his face, tumbling down
I think
the
Joe
stairs.
Biden is actually the living embodiment of you can't chew gum and walk down the street at the same time.
Yeah. Yep.
And this was Trump's promise of what he will do on day one.
Okay.
Remember this, they want to allow men to play in women's sports, okay? But I promise you I will defend American women like nobody has ever defended them before. And under the Trump administration, this lunacy will end on my first day back in the Oval Office. I promise you it will end immediately.
Okay.
On day one of my new administration, I will seal the border, stop the invasion, and send Joe Biden's illegal aliens back home where they belong.
Good. And is there any doubt that he intends to do just that? I believe him.
But he needs to follow up any day one executive order with legislation.
Yeah.
Codify
So it can't be undone immediately.
Or else it'll just be 4
temporary.
years. Yeah.
Right. Yep. But again, a Democrat can never be elected to national office ever again. We've been down that road multiple times in the last few decades, and it's not working. It doesn't work, America. Please stop electing Democrats to that office. It's bad enough to have a bad Republican, like George W. Bush. We can't have a Democrat. They'll finish off the job here. Hopefully, Donald Trump will insulate America to a certain extent in the next 4 years. And so, one man couldn't end it that quickly. But, man, I don't want to take any chances. We just can't elect that party, that extremist party that JFK wouldn't even recognize or be welcome in. But yet it's Republicans who are so extreme. We've heard that a million times.
Hold on. I know you've got a live read here. I think after this live read, speaking of Republicans, you just made me think of a clip we have to play. It is so ridiculous.
Get to that next. There's those who lead and those who follow. And when it's time for you to buy or sell a home, especially in this housing market, the type of person you need is the former, not the latter. You need somebody who leads. A number of years ago, Glenn got so fed up with the follower types, not to mention the leader types who didn't know what they were doing or where they were leading you, that he decided to do something about it. So he started Real Estate Agents I Trust because he didn't want you to have to go through the same hassles that he went through by using the wrong realtor. This is a service that we provide to you for free. We just hook you up with the realtor, and then the two of you ride off in the sunset together with getting a great house for the money or getting the most money out of your home. They know the buyers, they know the market, and they can help you make the right decisions when you're selling your house. What you should do to remodel it, if anything, and what you'll get your money out of and what you won't. It's realestateagentsitrust.com. The name says it all. realestateagentsitrust.com.
Gray Unleashed.
Okay, so you just talked about how Republicans are the problem. I think we all agree. Republicans are the problem. And you know who else agrees with you? That would be a famous musician, Richard Melville Hall. You guys know who I'm talking about, obviously. Moby.
Oh.
He's so relevant, right? Moby. So he had some thoughts he shared on social media the other day, Richard Melville Hall did.
Okay.
The Republicans in the United States are a minority party. They only represent about 35% of the population, if that. But they figured out how to control the levers of power. To undo that, we need to end the Electoral College, make the Senate proportionally representative, expand the Supreme Court, end gerrymandering, have ranked choice voting, give statehood to D.C. and Puerto Rico.
Oh, my gosh. In other words, completely undo the United States of America.
I couldn't
remove every safeguard provided by the founding fathers.
I couldn't get past it. Whatever solutions he had to fix America, I couldn't get past
because of the tattoo.
The Republican parties know how to use the levers of power. What planet are you on, bro?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? What was the tattoo? I missed the tattoo.
Yeah, you can just put a real quick. What is that? Is that like the Antichrist tattoo on his finger?
He's an alien. That's V.
Oh, that's a
before
V.
your time. Yeah, he's an alien. Definitely. Oh, so that makes sense now. What a strange little man.
Yeah, very, very. What a surprise too that he doesn't like Republicans. From Moby? Ha! I'm stunned. What a surprising take by him.
I never knew till right now Richard Melville Hall was Moby's name.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I'm not a big aficionado. I'm not as up on Moby's music and his past as I probably should be. I'm going to work on that. No, I'm not. No, I just decided no.
Is that before or after you go to Neil Young's concert?
Yeah, which one are you going to?
Yeah.
They get gun to your head. A Moby
gun to your head.
concert.
Who are you
I have to go.
You have to go or you're dead.
Or I'm going to be dead because I'm not going to
No, you have to pick one.
No, pull the trigger. I'm not going to either concert.
Oh, we're going to Moby. We're going to Moby.
You think? Over Neil Young? At least I'd know some of Neil Young's songs.
I was going to say Neil Young. I'll go to Neil Young.
Yeah, I'd probably go to Neil Young.
A Southern man don't need him around anyhow.
No, they don't. Right. All right, 888-900-3393. Much more coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us. 888-900-3393. Got some tweets here. George Jessel. Spoiled rich kids have their Ivy League school enrollment bought and paid for. We are not sending our best. Out of sight, okay. So I would think that's Oklahoma, perhaps. Walk through the protest with a jar of peanuts, and those kids will scatter like cockroaches when the lights turn on.
Bananas, too.
Yeah. What is the banana thing?
I don't know. Somebody had a banana allergy, and that's how you.
Oh, man.
I didn't know you could even be allergic.
I've never heard of a banana allergy. Have you?
No.
Never heard of it.
Not until 2 days ago.
I'm telling you, man. You go through there with a loaf of bread. Just start tossing gluten.
Yes.
Bread everywhere.
Right. I used to live on peanut butter and banana sandwiches. So we should make up a batch and make sure it gets to the kids.
They were complaining about being hungry.
Yeah, they're hungry. And they put out a list of demands. This was from the UCLA group. And they...
more plywood.
Yeah, well, they need a lot of things. They put out this huge flyer and posted it online. Needs. Okay, so these are some of their needs. And underneath that, it says, please ensure these donations are BDS compliant. That, of course, is boycott,
divest, right?
Divestment, and sanctions against Israel compliant. So,
couldn't you just said that?
No.
Don't just send bananas. Send bananas that we got directly imported from Israel. Or olives from their olive trees. Something. But anyway, if you want to make sure your donation to the UCLA encampment is BDS compliant, the Boycat app can help with that. Tell you what products come from Israel. Boycat. Yeah. So here's their urgent needs: headlamps, airsoft goggles. They need gas masks and respirators, especially for their medics. But everybody needs the gas masks because they're worried that those hideous police officers might shoot tear gas at them. Skater helmets, shields, wood for the barrier.
Yeah.
Sure enough, they couldn't afford the wood. Somebody donated it to them, George Soros. Knee and elbow pads, rain ponchos, canopies, utility gloves without the reinforced knuckles, of course. Various sizes, especially for small hands.
So specific.
Yeah, especially for small hands. They want, and small minds as well. Super bright flashlights with strobe, and they need those to be charged.
Oh, no.
Umbrellas. You know, it might rain in Los Angeles. It doesn't very often, but it might. Medical supplies, they need EpiPens, non-steroidal inhalers.
You can't make this stuff up.
More headlamps, and some organizational bins. They want to be organized. And we've seen, from the drone footage, just how organized that camp really is. I mean, for food, here's what they need, and they're demanding. Hot food for lunch. Important, in all caps. With 2 exclamation marks. Hot food for lunch, okay? They need that. Vegan food, gluten-free food, ice, no packaged food, no coffee, no bagels, no bananas, no nuts.
Yeah, no bananas.
I love that.
No nuts.
Who has a banana allergy?
I'm telling you.
You need to send that person home.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah,
send them home.
You're just not one of us.
Look at that.
And you really want to get these cretins to scatter and go home is cut off cell service.
Oh, my gosh.
If they can't
they could
access
not
their
live
phones
then. That's cruel and inhuman.
Yeah.
They made a separate spreadsheet specifically for people who are going to donate, interested in feeding them, and it was linked in the document. And they made this really clear that the donation list was published on the group's Instagram page, where it also compared its members to the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip during the war, following the violent clash they had on campus. That's how bad it is. SJP at UCLA claimed they experienced a, quote, life-threatening assault, unquote, after counter-protesters tried to clear the camp overnight. I'm sure they'll claim the same thing about police officers, which this just happened this morning. You can see there some of what was going on as they were tearing down the barriers that were built around them. The police had the nerve to tear down these sweethearts encampment plywood that they had taken the time to build and put together, and now you're tearing it down? How does Geneva feel about this?
Ooh.
We need to refer to the Geneva Convention here, and I'm sure this is a violation of that. I think so too. And did any of those cops have peanuts before they came in? Had they eaten bananas? Because just the smell of their breath could kill some of these students. And you don't want that to happen.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out.
Yeah.
These are the issues that, kind of fly below the radar that you don't hear talked about enough.
What if some of them had handled peanuts and now they're touching some of these protesters with the peanut oil still on their skin? I'm telling you. The slaughter just doesn't stop for these people. It just doesn't stop. Man, they have a tough life. They really do.
So,
that they do.
An update, the police have fired the rubber bullets at UCLA protesters.
Okay. Ouch.
So
that
we've now escalated to rubber bullets, and
let's take a moment to more. Okay, I'm done.
Wait, you didn't even finish your thought.
No, I thought that was appropriate. And we got the ouch thing out. So yeah, I think that's taken care of now.
So we're like I said, we've escalated to rubber bullets, and by the end of this weekend,
4 dead in Ohio.
Thank you for finishing that thought, because that's exactly
10
where I was going.
soldiers and Nixon's coming. We're finally on our own. This spring, they'll hear the drumming. 4 dead at UCLA, maybe. I don't know. That'll be tougher to work in, you know. But can you imagine what a horrific event that would be?
That would turn the tide back to the
yes, it would.
Pro-Hamas.
Yes, it would. And it would create a firestorm the likes of which this country has never seen. You think the Vietnam protests were brutal from time to time? My gosh. Today, you throw the match into that powder keg, it would really explode. We'd be at civil war.
By the way, you talked about these protesters and their demands and how they wanted to make sure that these products did not come from Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on the international stage yesterday, there was a powerful nation that broke diplomatic ties with Israel over what's been happening in the Middle East.
Oh, no.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Colombia. The country.
How will they?
Not to be confused with.
Yeah.
You're really going to
this
bring
I
this
love.
up?
Yes, this I love.
You're going to bring this up?
Oh, we had a little lunch yesterday between shows that we were doing, and Chris arrived late. So he got the news before we did that Colombia had caved in to the demands of the students, and they broke off all ties with Israel. Diplomatic ties, financial ties, whatever. Colombia had broken off. And I'm like, I didn't hear that. Really? What? So I came to work and looked for the story, and it was nowhere. And so
I hate this story, but it's fair.
We found out it wasn't Columbia University.
No.
It was Colombia, the country.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris, for the update. Colombia did, in fact, cave, but it was the nation of Colombia, not the university.
Reuters reports out of Bogota, the president down there of Colombia.
And how much did that hurt Israel? You know, they'll never be the same now. Wait, you guys are cutting off ties from our important relationship with Colombia?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Where would they get their
Don't say
coffee
that.
now?
Right? Right?
The coffee beans are the only thing that are good out of Colombia.
Where do you go to get your cocaine now, too?
True.
That's the thing.
Oh, my gosh. That's just really, it's cruel and inhumane. But I guess they got it coming because they're Israel. So they'll have to function without Juan Valdez now. Damn it. Ah, darn it. Do you know that reference? Chris, you know the Juan Valdez?
Is that the
reference?
coffee guy?
Yeah, okay. You know it.
To quote Jeffrey,
You know it.
that's your people. Of course you know that guy.
No. Juan Valdez.
Thought it might have been a little before your time, but you understand the Juan Valdez coffee guy. Yeah, he led the donkey around in the mountains of
The only reason
Colombia.
why I know this is because in Bruce Almighty, there's a reference, and there's a Juan Valdez with a donkey bringing him coffee.
In what movie?
Bruce Almighty.
Okay.
And that's why you know it.
Yes, that's why I know it. Yes, that's why
great.
I know it. This
That's
is from
great.
Bruce Almighty, not wherever you guys know it from.
Well, we know it from the commercials.
Oh, the commercials.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
The richest, most aromatic kind of coffee came from Colombia. And Juan Valdez, I guess, gathered it all. He picked all the coffee beans.
Him and the donkey?
Yeah.
Just,
Well,
wow.
he picked the beans and then loaded them on the
Thank
donkey.
you.
Oh, okay.
The donkey
His
walked.
beast of burden.
Thank you. Do not give that donkey
do not.
too much credit.
Come on now.
He
It
walked
was mostly
around.
Juan.
Thank
Juan was...
Juan is the...
Yeah, he's the important element here, not the donkey.
And I mean, good for him, right?
Good for him.
This is, I mean,
Exactly.
You started this business and it got a little too big.
So he got himself a donkey?
And then he had to get a donkey.
He was carrying the coffee beans in his
sacks?
pocket.
Oh, wow. It's not even sacks.
Back to
He just
company
put it in the-
headquarters for a while, but then it's too much and too heavy, and sometimes the pockets would break, and then the coffee beans would fall out the hole. And so he thought, what can I do here? What can I afford?
Well,
since I don't have a truck,
yeah, right.
Maybe I can get a donkey, and I'll load up the coffee beans on him.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, who's clapping? So, yeah, and then actually, the reason, and people don't realize this, the reason things got out of control for Juan is that
what other show is going to spend this amount of time on Juan Valdez today?
Oh, there's people, trust me, they're going to tweet at me later, how dare you, or they'll comment. They'll say, how could you possibly spend this much time talking about Juan Valdez? Just to piss you off. But no, he got another donkey.
I got
and then
two donkeys.
there was infighting.
Wow.
And so you don't realize this, that behind the scenes, oh my gosh, there's going to be like
Conflict?
a documentary now.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes of Juan Valdez. The donkeys going after each other because they were jealous of who's going to be on the commercials. All right, I think we're done with the bit now.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, let's get back to our Nicole Wallace from MSNBC talking about
because
Trump.
you're talking about Trump. Yeah,
we had some cuts from him from yesterday. And so Nicole Wallace, I guess, has some thoughts about Donald Trump.
Seen that toast a bunch of times, but it landed very differently this year because depending on what happens in November, 7 months from right now, this time next year, I might not be sitting here.
What?
There might not be a White House Correspondents' Dinner or a free press. While our democracy
doesn't
exactly fall apart immediately without it, the real threat looms larger. A candidate with outward disdain, not just for a free press, but for all of our freedoms and for the rule of law itself.
Oh, my God. Oh, man. Could they get any worse than this?
Who is her audience?
Wow.
Like, what? How many? Is she talking to 3 people? Who is she warning about Donald Trump?
Jeez.
Because you talk about self-importance. There may not be a show for me to even be on. That's because you suck.
Or a free press.
Or a free press.
Or a
It has nothing to do
democracy.
with who the president is. It's your ratings.
Gotta be right.
I didn't even know you had a show, Nicole.
Jeez.
Until that clip, I could not have said, oh, yeah, on MSNBC, there's a Nicole Wallace show.
No, had you shown me her picture, I would have
her
known
name.
she's... Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I think you're on somewhere doing something, but I couldn't have pinned it down. Couldn't have told you the name.
So what's good for her is that she won't be missed. If that's what happens,
Nobody
you
will
don't need
know.
to be stressing out because we're not even going to know
if
when
a
you're
tree
gone.
falls in the forest.
You
know what I mean?
All right, listen, y'all who make merchandise in this building. If a tree falls on MSNBC, ... ellipsis. That's your shirt. If a tree falls
There
on
it is.
MSNBC.
Right there. All right, let me tell you about preborn. As Mother's Day approaches, we want to highlight for you an organization that cares so deeply for mothers, and that's Preborn. Preborn's network of clinics exists exclusively to offer love, life, and support to these pregnant women who are feeling scared and alone, who've been pressured to make the ultimate choice, one that will not only sacrifice the life of their baby, but will also take a piece of their heart and, cause them lifelong pain, chances are. When a distressed mother comes to Preborn, though, she's welcomed with open arms and is offered a free ultrasound to see and hear that precious life inside of her. And the majority of the time, once that happens, she's going to choose life for her baby. This Mother's Day, you can help bring life to both a mother in need and an at-risk baby. The ultrasound for one woman, one time, $28. Surprisingly affordable, $28. 5 ultrasounds, $140. If you can spare that would be awesome. But whatever you can give, every penny goes to these loving mothers and their babies. And when you become a monthly sponsor, you'll also get pictures and stories of lives that you help save. So to get involved, just dial pound 250, say the keyword baby, pound 250, keyword baby, or go to preborn.com/Pat.
You're listening to Pat Gray Unleashed.
Some X tweets here, some tweets on X, some X's on Twitter. The honorable I'm a lickin' butter tweets. X's. Just set up some speakers around the UCLA encampment and play It's a Small, Small World on an endless loop. That'll vacate the premises. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They did something similar to Manuel Noriega. It was like heavy metal or something at the Palace.
And apparently he didn't enjoy it.
That's
for
what
some
I
reason.
hear.
Yeah, weird. From Alex, I think I'm going to start a graffiti removal business and send these colleges my business card. Yeah, that might help. I mean, I think you could make a living on that. Tyler Morgan, so those peanut butter and banana sandwiches, were you asking for another peanut butter nanner sandwich from Scylla? Yeah, I didn't do that because Jeffy's not here to appreciate it. Because he's the one who loves Elvis so much, man. He resents this interpretation of Elvis, man.
Don't.
First of all, the king, don't allow the king to come out of your mouth. What was it? Will Smith said something about. I don't want to
keep the king's name out of your
mouth. Something like that. Yeah. From Michael Groh, I think the best thing to send these college student darlings is a basket full of banana nut bread. Jason Jasonson, they also wanted ouchless Band-Aids. Oh, did they? Yeah, they probably did.
Yeah. We had some other comments, from the chat. They were talking about cinnamon bacon.
Okay.
Right, and avocado
toast. Yeah, was there a demand for that? I'll bet.
A good avocado toast. Oh, so good.
I hate avocados.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Ick. They're just too slimy for me. It's the texture, I think, that really gets me.
Oh,
I don't like it. It's like baby poop. Isn't that what, what's his face? Beto used to trick his wife or something. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, Beto.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, here's
Beto
a baby
O'Rourke
diaper. With poop in it.
Uh-huh. And then he ate it or something. It's a trick to it. But because it was avocado, it looked like baby poop. So that was my point. Long way to the well.
No.
Long way to the well.
I was with you.
Okay. All right, good.
I don't know, man. Let me know when you have this clip ready here, Chris. The audio clip. It's 2 seconds long. But this entire show, for the last 90 minutes, I've just been thinking of George W. Bush.
Oh.
Something that he said that you talk about a long way to the well, Pat.
Okay.
I thought it might be ready.
And it's not even ready.
So we'll get it after the break.
An even longer way to the well.
And then when the payoff comes, it's going to be so
you're going to love
it. Oh, here, pause it. So you're talking about all the wood and who's going to provide all the wood and all this stuff. And so I've just been hearing this in my head for 90 minutes.
Need some wood?
Thank you. There it is. Thank you. We got there.
Okay, that was worth it.
Need some wood?
Yeah. Need some wood?
That's because Gore.
Yeah, I need some wood.
Al Gore had just said, you're tied to big lumber. And you have stocks. And anyway, apparently it was like 0.02% of Bush's 401k. And he's like, I own a wood company? Who knew? Need some wood?
I own a timber company?
Yeah, there you go.
That's great. Need some wood?
Need some wood?
And see? That would have paid off today for those protesters.
It would have paid off.
If they had supported George Bush all along.
Right. Did you guys see that the House passed the anti-Semitism bill? Oh, man. Okay. Now, anti-Semitism is wrong. I don't want to see it. I don't want to be subjected to it. I think it's dangerous. But you're getting into hate speech here now, and freedom of speech is a thing in this country. As long as you're not threatening to commit genocide and eliminate an entire people, and some of these little darlings are doing just that. But you can't do this. And it passed the House with almost everybody's support. 320 to 91. Didn't know. Well, Matt Gaetz, he was alarmed by it. Matt Gaetz talked about it. It's like, we passed this without regard to the U.S. Constitution.
Yep. And there was a very passionate speech on the floor yesterday from Chip Roy as well against this bill.
It's the same ones every time.
Yeah, thought police. And he even said that they didn't even have an opportunity to read the bill. And he's like, now they're going to come and say that we aren't supporting
that's right.
Jewish people in America and all this stuff.
I mean, clearly, we've been super supportive of Israel and Jews, and we make that very, very clear. But this is not the way to go about it, okay? You can't squelch free speech and set fire to the First Amendment over it. You can't do that. Very dangerous, really bad. And I hope it fails in the Senate, but they're going to work right now. This, who's the group that is pushing this? Let me see if I can find this. I don't know that I have it. Oh, okay. The Combat Anti-Semitism movement. They hailed the passage as a momentous achievement, but said work remains to be done to get it through the Senate and to President Joe Biden's desk. Please don't let that happen. Call your U.S. senator today, both your senators in your state, and demand that they vote against this. Make it clear, if you, politely, hey, we support Israel too, but I don't support this bill. This bill doesn't make any sense. It's anti-American and unconstitutional. Stop it. Mm-hmm. All right, so we have the El Salvador president, Nayib Bukele.
Yeah, he's
talking to his cabinet yesterday. This is kind of interesting, and I think this is subtitled, right? Because he's speaking gibberish for some reason.
Yeah.
And we had to ascertain.
We just have about 30 seconds of like a 5-minute thing here, and just here we go. This is how a leader leads here.
Yes.
He's got his cabinet.
Como pueden ver ustedes todos, los que estamos aquí
Everyone here
reunidos
is
son parte del
from the
Ejecutivo.
executive branch.
From
the executive branch that I oversee, except for one person, the Attorney General. He's not part of the executive branch. But he's here for a simple reason. I want to ask him publicly to investigate everyone sitting here. Retroactively and into the future. I imagine that there should be no problem with that. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow, look at them. They seem like they have a problem with it.
And he goes on to talk about he doesn't want his legacy to be like previous leaders and being surrounded by thieves and criminals.
Wow.
And we're going to find out, and we're going to make sure that everybody here is clean. And then put the one picture up, though, Joe. There, like you said, Pat, there is at least one person in that room who was not pleased with this speech. There we go.
With the announcement?
Yeah, he's that is not the clip. But no, there's a picture. No, there should just be a picture for you there, Joe. Okay,
We'll get to that in a minute. See if we can find it.
Okay.
You know what would be great is if he included himself in that. I myself will be investigated as well, just to make sure that everybody's on the same page. More coming up.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
So they've broken down the encampment, made some arrests at UCLA. Good for them. And I mean, there's still resistance. I mean, they're locking arms and trying to keep the police away from their encampment. I tell you, these people. You know, it's like Barbara Streisand said. People who love Hamas are the worst kind of people in the world. And I've always felt that way.
And we've confirmed that they are indeed people?
No. Actually, some of them seem to be animals. They're certainly living like animals, acting like animals. So you're right. That is kind of questionable. I'm so glad that finally they're putting the hammer down with the police and coming in to stop the nonsense, the madness. And of course, they're screaming like they're being murdered every step of the way, and their rights have been taken away. I'm sorry, where does it say that you have the right to take over a college campus that doesn't belong to you? Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder though, did the police bring hot meals and to feed them before they made them leave? I sure hope so, and I hope they were gluten-free, and I hope it was vegan. I really do. And I hope there were no nuts or bananas involved. Man, because that's important. It's important. And I hope it was a hot lunch, because they really wanted their lunch to be hot.
They made that clear.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And talked about how important that was. So,
do you remember the Arizona clip that we played of the girl with the bathroom instructions? We played that.
Out in your backyard? Was that in overtime? Or
Yeah, well, that was in overtime.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Well, we have that same bathroom, kid you not, inside the UCLA
encampment?
Encampment.
Oh, really?
Yes. They set up two different tents.
You got to be kidding me.
And you poop, and there's instructions, there's what to do, but it's disgusting.
I'm telling you.
I can imagine.
I'm telling you.
It's disgusting.
The next outbreak is coming from UCLA.
Well, it's going to be cholera or something. I mean, typhoid, fever, who knows? Something
Colombia
nasty is coming out of this.
Are going to have
epicenters. Seriously. Oh, jeez.
Look at these people getting arrested are the most ridiculous looking.
Right, people?
People. Yeah, sure. We'll go with that. People. Did we land on people?
We did. I think we did. Wow.
Okay, well.
I love the Yasser Arafat picnic tablecloth that everybody's wearing. And just, it's a nice tribute. It's a nice callback to Yasser.
A callback to Yasser. Oh.
Good trip down memory lane with Yasser Arafat. Thank you for that. And, you know, these kids don't know anything about the situation. You know that's a fact. You know they're so ignorant of all the facts.
I just want to know the breakdown at all these campuses. How many are students? What percentage are students? And what percentage are outside agitators?
Well, I mean, some of these guys being arrested are clearly not college students.
What?
Yeah, it's
no way.
Surprising. Like they just arrested a guy who has to be 45, 50 years old. Come on.
So you're saying that 45, 50-years old are not allowed
Probably
to be
not
in
at
colleges?
UCLA. No, they could,
okay.
but it's not likely. It's not likely.
Yeah, you notice that there's no environmental protests happening around the country right now. It's because they're all on these college campuses because they're professional agitators. That's what they do. What's our cause today? What? It's a anti-Israel protest. Oh yeah, I can totally do that. Let me throw up my.
Will it get me out of class? All right, I'm in.
Yeah, free Palestine.
That's great.
Okay.
That's great. Okay, so we played you the clip of the El Salvador president.
Yeah, he's good.
What is his name? He's been doing some
yeah.
amazing things, and
yeah, he was the pro-ivermectin guy who gave it to all those people during COVID. He made sure that all of his citizens had some Bitcoin, and he put all of the prison gangs away, or all the gangs in prison, I should say. And he has cleaned up that country. Argentina's got great things going on down there. The trajectory of places like El Salvador and Argentina are putting the trajectory of our nation to shame. And he told his cabinet.
Yeah, I'm going to investigate all of you. And my point was, okay, it'd be great, even better, if he also included himself. Chris says he did.
He did. That was some poor.
He did include
himself.
That's great.
That was some good. That was some poor translation.
Poor translation.
You're not the first person to tell me that about that video. So anyway,
good.
And then we had the guy, I told you the one cabinet member, look at him. He is on edge. That guy's like, I don't think I want to be investigated. I mean, if body language can speak, he's got his arms
He's already
folded.
across the border. He's crossed the border.
He's leaning back. He's like,
He's in California already.
He's at Chaz, UCLA.
He'll be one of the students that were arrested.
We should honestly, I don't know that guy's name. I don't know anything about him, but we should set up a news alert.
That's Juan.
That's
Juan.
That's Juan Valdez right there.
Juan Valdez.
Yeah.
He made it.
I want to see if that guy comes out in the news like 3 months from now, an investigation on the Interior Secretary of El Salvador or whatever that guy is.
All right. The other thing about these students is I hope their student loans are all paid up because Biden's illegal student loan forgiveness program, it was just announced, could cost taxpayers $1.4 trillion, according to a new report. That's estimating his plan to relieve all of the student debt loans that he's trying to relieve. And that's $1.4 trillion that'd be well spent, wouldn't it? Because we can afford it. This is the richest nation on earth. And it's about time we paid the debt that everybody accrued willingly of their own free will. Jeez. Nonpartisan Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget estimated all Biden's recent debt cancellation efforts would cost a combined $870 billion, so we might get off, fairly cheaply. $870 billion to $1.4 trillion. That's great. And, these little darlings are going to expect all of that, too. You know that they're not paying for this education. I love it. I love the entitlement. And we're just on a really good trajectory as a nation right now.
It's bad enough that that these college campuses are indoctrinating these youth to be our future leaders, but to hate this country. But congratulations, you're paying for it, too.
Meanwhile, speaking of the administration, yesterday KJP was talking about the president who has not been silent about things.
Oh, okay.
Here she is.
You mentioned what he said in 2017 after Charlottesville. He said about Trump's response then, Charlottesville for me was a moment where I thought silence would be complicity.
Yeah.
So how do you explain his silence this week?
The president has not been silent on this issue when it comes to hate speech, anti-Semitism. He launched the first ever anti-Semitism strategy to counter anti-Semitism, something that no other president did. No other president did.
A school building at an Ivy League campus got taken over.
And we call that out, and we said that is not peacefully protesting. Taking over a building at a university
when did Biden do that?
Is not peacefully protesting.
Get out of here. Who called that out from the administration?
We've been very clear.
No, you haven't.
Taking more than 100 new actions to deal with anti-Semitism in this administration, no one has ever done that before. Not any other administration has ever done that before. We're going to continue. We're going to continue. We're going to continue to do the work.
They're going to continue to do the work. The lies that just pile up, mounted on top of each other. It's incredible. Nobody's ever taken 100 actions against anti-Semitism. First of all, how many have needed to? We've never been in this situation before where we've had terrorist-supporting buffoons out picketing on a daily basis, creating encampments, taking over college campuses. There's been no need for it in this country until now. So I don't know what the 100 actions taken are that she's referring to. But there hasn't really been a need for that, frankly.
And I think part of what Ducey was referring to there is there's a tweet from Joe Biden from August of 2020. So you'll remember what was happening in the country in the week of George Floyd and BLM riots and destroying of American cities. Joe Biden tweeted out at the time, "Remember, every example of violence Donald Trump decries has happened on his watch, under his leadership.
Oh my gosh.
During his presidency."
Huh. Fascinating. Wow, that comes back to bite him in the rectum, doesn't it?
Everything he says, everything he tweets.
Yep, comes back to bite him.
Right, because he was mad at COVID deaths under Trump. Many more under Biden.
Yeah.
And in fact, he said with Trump, with COVID, he's like, he shouldn't be president with that many deaths on his hands. I mean, gosh.
And the number was 200,000. How many died under him, under his watch? Many more than that. Many hundreds of thousands more. All right, let me tell you about Fast Growing Trees. It is the biggest online nursery in America, more than 10,000 different kinds of plants and trees. And so they're going to have whatever it is you're looking for. They have everything you could possibly want. Fruit trees, palm trees, evergreens, house plants, lots more. Whatever you're interested in, they have it. And you're going to find the perfect fit for your climate and your space. Fast Growing Trees makes it easy to order online. Your plants are shipped directly to your door in 1 or 2 days. You're going to save so much over some landscaping company that comes in and charges you an arm and a leg for it. And along with their 30-day Alive and Thrive guarantee, Fast Growing Trees offers free plant consultation forever. So you're going to get great advice from them when you need it. This spring, they have the best deals online, up to half off on select plants and other things. And listeners to this show get an additional 15% off their first purchase when you use the offer code PAT at checkout. That's an additional 15% off at fastgrowingtrees.com. Use the promo code PAT at checkout. Fastgrowingtrees.com, offer code PAT. The offer is valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions may apply.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Back to KJP. She also dodged a question regarding youth votes for Joe Biden.
And I understand that President Biden historically has spoken very forcefully about anti-Semitism. But this week, he's not. He's MIA. Is he that worried about losing the youth vote with these protesters?
I'm going to be mindful. You're talking about youth vote. You're talking about 2024. No.
Young people.
Jeez.
I have to say what I have to say, and just give me a second. So I'm not going to speak about somebody's doorbell. Is that a doorbell?
Yeah, that was an alarm.
An alarm. Okay. All right. And I'll speak more broadly. I can't speak to youth and support and voters. That's not something I can do from here.
Why?
The president has taken a lot of policy actions here that he knows that young people care about. And a lot of those actions are popular with those young folks, whether it's giving a little bit of breathing room with student debt relief.
A little bit of breathing room.
We made an announcement today, matter of fact.
Was it, wait, back that up about 10 seconds. Was it a little bit of a breathing room?
I don't know.
Or did she actually say it right this time? She might have said it right.
I think she said it right.
How about that? So somebody finally got it through her head. It's not a place, okay? A little bit of a breathing room is not a room where you go to breathe. All right, let's hear it.
The president has taken a lot of policy actions here that he knows that young people care about. And a lot of those actions are popular with those young folks, whether it's giving a little bit of breathing room with student debt relief.
Right.
So we made an announcement today, matter of fact, and we are going to continue to do that because we think it's important as families or as an American and you coming out of college and you want to build a family, buy a home, you have the opportunity to do that and not be crushed by student debt. The president understands how important it is to deal with that issue. Climate
and that
change,
other people have paid
something
off.
that young people really, truly care about. One of the crises that the president said he came into having to deal with was the climate change crisis. As the president has taken aggressive action to deal with climate crisis. Look, I can't speak to youth voters or their support. What we're going to do is continue to take actions that we believe
you're going to continue to lie and not
not
answer questions that have been asked of you. That's what you're going to continue to do. And she says that is it another Ducey? Because both these were Ducey questions, but they're not placating. They're not pandering to both sides.
You mentioned that the president is taking questions on this. Again, respectfully, he hasn't. He did take a question where he said he condemns those who don't understand what's going on with the Palestinians. I know you've been asked about that, but since you brought up Charlottesville, what do you say to those critics who say that he is trying to have it both ways? That he's essentially, trying to talk about both anti-Semitism and what's going on with the Palestinians.
Thank you.
I would say to those critics is no, he's not doing a both sides scenario here.
Explain to me how that wasn't taking both sides of the issue. Can you do that, Puddin'? Can you do that, Curly? I don't know. I don't think so. Oh, man.
And you ain't black.
Oh, my gosh.
All right.
Something else.
She also dodged another question regarding these pro-Hamas protests.
Respectfully, you didn't quite answer it. The question was, why hasn't the president been more forceful in talking about the protests? You talked about how he's talked about anti-Semitism, but specific on the protests, why hasn't the president been more forceful?
Because he's pandering. The question, Gabe, but respectfully, the president has been no other president has spoken about anti-Semitism than this president.
Get out of here! Of course they have.
And I'm answering it in the way that I believe.
In the way that I'm dodging the question.
Is the best way to answer your question, which is the president has been very, very clear.
That's not the best way.
He's been clear about this. He's taken action. He put forth a strategic plan to counter anti-Semitism, more than 100 new actions, and not just taking actions, but is actions that across the administration. This is a whole of government process, right? We have the Department of Homeland Security that's involved. We have the Department of Education that's involved. We want to make sure that we are dealing with this, not just words, not just speaking out, but taking action.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my gosh, this is agonizing.
Yep.
Ooh, we might as well finish it off with the lack of statements on resettlement of Gazan refugees. Somebody actually asked her about that. Hey, how many Gazans are coming? Are you bringing more people that hate America to America? Let's hope so. Here's what she had to say about that.
As the administration considers bringing Palestinians here to the U.S. as refugees,
please bring them.
Do you know how many people that the U.S. hopes to relocate? And secondly, given the challenges getting in and out of Gaza, will the U.S. assist in physically bringing Palestinians here.
So let me just first start saying that we just don't have anything to announce at this time.
Yeah, we're not ready yet. We haven't got their press release. We haven't gotten our allies in the media on board yet.
Right.
I want to thank Chris Cruz for watching the KJP press conference yesterday because I refused to do that.
So agonizing.
I just love the love-hate relationship between KJP and Ducey. It's not the same as Psaki and Ducey.
That was
but...
love-hate. This is hate-hate.
Oh, okay. He just loves to ask questions. She hates when he gets asked.
And he's usually the only one, but there was another guy who was asking her tough questions yesterday, which is nice. It would be nice if it wasn't just Peter Ducey trying to do the job of the media. Your job isn't to just toss them softball questions every single time.
When's an environmental reporter for a news outlet going to stand up and go, thank you, Karine. Just out of curiosity, how many trees do you kill on a daily basis when you try to fill up your great big book of everything with answers? Because there's a lot of paper products in that thing.
Yep. Sure are. All right.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
We actually do have some good stuff. To maybe finish on a happier note, we got Senator John Kennedy versus Jeffrey Sopran.
Is this a climate guy? Do we know?
I believe so.
Yeah, and he tweeted something out about Kennedy. And so when Kennedy had him in front of him yesterday, he reminded him of that tweet. Is that right?
Okay.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, and here's what happened.
May I please see the documents?
Yes, sir, and the witnesses' documents there.
May I please point out that this form
The
of...
senator's time has expired, and there are other senators waiting.
I've got a bunch more tweets. Thank you for your objective advice,
I'm sure you
Doc.
do. You can put them into a question for the record, and
Yes, I'd like to submit all of the good doctors' objective tweets and scientific analysis for the record.
That will be done without objection. Senator Merkley.
May I clarify one final point?
Proceed.
These are not my tweets. These are retweets. It's an important
Oh, you often retweet stuff you don't support? Is that what you're telling me, Doc?
I did not say that I don't support this. I simply did not tweet it, which, as you were alleging.
But you retweeted them,
I'd like to
didn't
make very clear that this
But
form
you
of character
retweeted them,
assassination
didn't
is
you?
characteristic of the propaganda techniques
You
of fossil
tr- you
fuel.
retweeted
Senator
it,
Merkley.
didn't you?
Thank you.
Are you going to call me a sick?
It's Senator Merkley's time.
So the tweet that he's referencing called him a sick F?
Yes.
So he's like, is that what you think I am? A sick F?
But I don't think Jeffrey answered that particular question.
Yeah,
Did he? Did he answer it?
It was a retweet.
It was a retweet.
Yeah, it's a
It wasn't
retweet.
a
He didn't
tweet.
tweet it.
It was a
He just
retweet, Pat.
retweeted. Okay. Well, then you're completely
in the clear.
In the
Absolved.
clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no need to even have you here. Thank you for your time, sir. I'm sorry to have bothered you. I like Kennedy, though, because he doesn't take this nonsense. He doesn't just lay down and let him walk all over him.
You know, I appreciate all of these hearings with John Kennedy and the way that he handles witnesses that, anti-American or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
He's great. We've talked about this, and the audience has been all over this about he's great for quotes, he's great for clips.
Right.
But then when push comes to shove,
where are the votes?
Where are the votes? And, I was just sitting here thinking, he's kind of like the sports team that is so great in the regular season. And then we get to the playoffs when it really matters.
Right.
Where'd you go?
Yeah, that's true.
Where are you?
That is true.
He's an Atlanta sports team. No, it's just it's frustrating.
Very. Yeah, because we have discussed this multiple times. Same is true for a lot of them. Jim Jordan, for instance, great in these hearings. Tremendous, in fact. During when the spotlight of the circus is shining on them, but then when it comes time to vote, like yesterday with the free speech thing, the anti-Semitism, my gosh, how do so many Republicans go down that road? Yeah, we hate what's going on at these college campuses, but you can't make it illegal to say certain things about it. You can't do that. The only kind of speech that needs to be protected is speech other people don't like. And the problem is a lot of Americans don't realize what is happening here because we've been so bombarded with the fact that people can't be offended by anything, and we've got to avoid all language and pronouns and anything that would offend somebody's sensibilities, that they think it's okay to make legislation involving people's speech. They just did I'm trying to see whose study this was, but I think this is a Gallup. No, it's a Pew Research Center poll. Almost 3/4 of U.S. adults, 73%, say freedom of the press enshrined in the First Amendment is extremely or very important. 73%. Whereas the other 27%? An additional 18%, say it is somewhat important. 8% say it's of little or no importance whatsoever. But then when you ask them about certain questions and whether you should be able to say certain things, then that falls off to like 46% of Americans believe that you should be able to say the things that are not liked by other people. Because we've gotten to this sensitive place where we can't offend anybody's sensibilities. It's really dangerous. And then you pass a law like the House did yesterday. Hopefully the Senate will put a stop to it. But I think that might take some action from we as citizens. Calling our senators. I'm sure Ted Cruz is already on board, but John Cornyn probably needs to hear, hey, don't vote for this anti-Semitism bill. Okay? Ridiculous. Nobody likes it, but you can't control speech like this.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.